Next crystal sphere here. What happened to the dinosaurs? And underneath that, if you can't read, it says, the mystery that shouldn't be. This has been a topic I've been very interested in over the years, namely because I've been big on studying dinosaurs throughout my life. I've been a big fan of dinosaurs. My favorite movie series, it's not really a dinosaur, but the Godzilla movie series. I know, I'm kind of ashamed now that I admit that. The Godzilla movies is one of my favorite series, and because that, and not just that, but also Jurassic World came out this year. Very, very fascinating. I've always been interested in dinosaurs. And go ahead and flip the next slide there. Oh, next one, sorry. I always forget that I did that. The common theory on what happened to the dinosaurs was that a meteor wiped out all the dinosaurs. Now, if a meteor wiped out the dinosaurs, there's a few questions that still need answered regarding how is it that a meteor wiped out all the dinosaurs. First of all, how did other forms of life continue to exist if this catastrophic meteor struck the Earth, created massive climate change, and all sorts of catastrophes accompanying that? How did any sort of life happen to survive after this catastrophic event? Second question. Why did all the giant marine reptiles die as well? We see that marine life continued to exist. You look through the geologic column, you see different sorts of marine creatures that have, in a geologic sense, existed since the dinosaurs as well. So why did the marine reptiles die off as well? Doesn't make any sense. And then one that's a little more specific. I remember finding this article that dates back a good number of years, that they found elastin inside the bone marrow of a fossilized Tyrannosaurus rex. Now, if the Tyrannosaurus rex was killed off 65 million years ago by a meteor, why'd they find elastin in its bone marrow? That doesn't make any sense either. There are many problems with this popular theory that dinosaurs were wiped out 65 million years ago by a giant meteor, but I will say that this is actually an advance on the old theories concerning the disappearance of the dinosaurs. Go ahead and change slides there. Namely because some of the alternative theories of their extinction are pretty absurd, because it did not rely on a catastrophic event. Rather, it relied on other sorts of factors, other sorts of natural phenomenon. The first one I'd like to discuss, just briefly, is that one scientist proposed that the dinosaurs developed a glandular problem. And this glandular problem prevented them from being able to effectively mate and reproduce, and that there were not enough females in the population for dinosaurs to continue to repopulate. Okay, that's kind of a crazy theory. We don't see that happening today within populations, but that was one shot at it. Another one was that at the evolution of the insect world, particularly caterpillars, that their food was leafy type of plants. And they started to infest the natural world, started eating all the plants, and didn't leave enough food for the dinosaurs to eat. And that led to the extinction of the vegetarian dinosaurs, which led to the extinction of the carnivore dinosaurs because they didn't have any vegetarian dinosaurs to eat. And there you go. Well, there's no geological evidence whatsoever to suggest this. It was just a shot in the dark, pretty much. They wanted to make sense of it. They were desperately trying, and that's what they came up with. Another one is that the dinosaurs became very carnivorous over one another's eggs. So they started devouring them in just mass quantities until they ate each other's eggs to the point of extinction. Well, we find fossilized eggs as well, so that theory doesn't work too well. My personal favorite of all these theories, not the last one, but my personal favorite, is the dinosaurs farted themselves to death. Not even kidding, this is a real theory. It's actually more, sadly to say, it's a more modern theory of the dinosaurs' extinction, even more so modern than the extinction through the meteor. But the way the theory goes is them farting created massive climate change, and this climate change was not conducive for the dinosaurs' existence, so they all just ended up dying off. And of course, as the theory also goes, that other ones evolved into birds as well. But we have to be honest with ourselves. Whenever there is a mystery in the ancient world, we can't quite figure out how to explain. There's only one explanation that can explain every sort of phenomenon, be it the pyramids in Egypt or Stonehenge or let's say the Empire State Building for that matter. Because these things are impossible for any other method to accomplish them, we have to conclude that aliens did it. Have to. I mean, there's just no other option here. There's actually a comic book series on this too, so I don't remember what it's called, but Google it. I'm sure you can find it. It looks like a pretty interesting comic book. I don't know how it goes. The dinosaur's talking it from what I hear. Whatever. Couldn't switch slides here. But once again, I have to say that at least with the idea that a meteorite did it, that some progress has been made. Today, most theories conclude that a global catastrophe in the past had happened that wiped out the dinosaurs. Kind of interesting there. Where before, it was kind of these absurd, just shot-in-the-dark theories. Many clues have been uncovered, geologically speaking, such as volcanic activity. There was a significantly warmer climate back then. Lots of evidence of like mass flooding and such. And so there's a lot of clues to kind of tip us off as exactly what happened, but ultimately, to my dismay and many others, mainstream science will not make the most rational conclusion regarding the disappearance of the dinosaurs themselves. And to just touch on that a little bit, I think that there might have been a global flood a long time ago that may have contributed to the extinction of the dinosaurs. Even though I don't believe it wiped them out, but I think it contributed nonetheless to their extinction.